Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the Student Summer Impact Series. Thank you so much for joining us today, and taking time out of your busy schedules. If we haven't had the opportunity to be on a call before, my name is Morgan Goodwin, and I serve as the Student Engagement Program Manager here at Campus Compact. And I'm just very excited to spend this time with you as we work to highlight the work that our Newman Civic Fellow mini grant recipients have been doing. This spring, Campus Compact was able to award more than $72,000 in mini grants to about 58 of our fellows across the country, really working to support their community and student-led projects focused in on education, career access, civic engagement, and all types of things that they're passionate about. Before we begin, I wanted to take a moment to just congratulate and celebrate and recognize that this is a really exciting time for a lot of our fellows, not just because they are completing their mini grant projects, but because we're just finishing up graduation season. And a lot of them are completing this major chapter in their academic journey. And many others of them are preparing for the next phase of their journey, whether that be graduate school, leadership opportunities, traveling to other countries. Additional education. Many things right now are happening for our fellows, and to everyone really working to navigate that transition in this season of change, I just want to congratulate you, let you know that we are incredibly proud of you, and very excited to see where you're going to go next, what you're going to do next. The thing that I care and love most about our Newman Civic Fellowship is that it shows us that leadership doesn't have to look one particular way. It doesn't have to be a specific title or position, but it's often about identifying needs within your community, working to bring folks together, figuring out how you can work together, even across difference, to take action. And the students that you're going to hear from today, they've worked very hard to do exactly that. They've invested a lot of effort, time, energy, creativity, and passion into these projects, working to make stronger communities, make us more well-connected and healthier overall, and just to have a more just world for us to be a part of as global citizens. And so while today we'll be focusing in on some individual projects that they're very proud of, we're also going to be celebrating something that's a lot bigger than that, and that is the power and impact of community. Behind each and every project that these fellows have done are the community members, the campus partners, mentors, friendships, family members, neighbors, and other people who are just invested in this work, who have helped bring these ideas to life. And so I want to thank those people for their time, effort, and energy as well. The work that we're discussing today is a big reminder that change can happen when people come together around a shared purpose, and have that intrinsic caring nature. And so thank you all for being here. I hope that you learned something new. I hope that you leave inspired by the student leaders. I know I have been inspired by every interaction I've had with them. And maybe you'll even discover ideas that you can bring back to your own communities and campuses. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. And I'd like to pass the torch off to our first presenter.
All right. So thank you everybody for being here. My name is Ren, and I am representing Mount Wachusett Community College in Central Massachusetts. So a little bit about me is that I am going into my second year of nursing, working towards my RN, and I am a mom of two wonderful little children who are exactly like me. Whether that's good or bad, I haven't decided yet. But my daughter just turned 13, so we're getting those teen years going, which is so great. A little bit about my project. So I hosted a health and wellness fair designed to be interactive and educational. So one of the reasons why I wanted to do this was because a lot of our nursing students are asking for more opportunities to practice their basic skills, such as taking vitals. And we don't have a lot of time in our clinical settings to do that because they are very busy. So I wanted to make an event where the nursing students could get that extremely necessary practice in, because these are skills that we're going to use in every aspect of our future job opportunities. I also wanted to be able to bring in community members and get them introduced to their future healthcare workers and have them become a part of the educational journey. So by them being able to come and volunteer, they are talking with people who might be taking care of them one day, and we're getting the necessary practice we need. We also invited Walgreens Pharmacy to host a vaccination clinic, which a lot of our community members are unable to get the transportation they need in some places. So we thought bringing everything that we possibly could into one central location would only help. About the experience. So, how did the health fair come to be? We took a lot of different steps. First, I created my team, and then I reached out to the Student Nurses Association, which is one of our student organizations at the campus with only the student nurses as members. And obviously, I needed their support in getting more nurses in to help with this event. Then we started our community partner outreach, and then we began our marketing journey. A couple of the challenges we faced were kind of like we tried to reinvent the wheel by doing so much research and trying to find all of these different partners that we could invite when we realized we have this community inside of our school that probably already have all of these contacts that I could possibly ask for. And when I did reach out, I received almost 500 facilities within the Massachusetts area, which we then had to sift through. Another challenge was the repeating of the outreach for getting that commitment from those community partners. I, for one, definitely forget to check my email every day, so I get it. And then we also needed to get a signature for the vaccination clinic. It took my mentor physically hunting down my school signatory to get that signed, but we did make it in time, thankfully. So some of the outcomes we found that were really amazing is that because of the mini grant, I was able to get plenty of supplies for our student nurses to be able to actually practice these vitals, things like blood pressure cuffs and pulse oximeters, and many other items. So 3 of the nursing students who came that are just starting their program, I was able to give them supplies to help with the monetary part of getting all of these supplies that we need for our clinical settings. And I still have enough to hand out to 3 more students that hopefully will be reaching out to me soon. And I can help them with that because it is a lot of money for nursing school. We had approximately 50 community members to come to the event, which was fantastic. The majority of these members were in the 50 plus range, which was great for Walgreens because they handed out so many shingles vaccines, which is very necessary for that age group. And altogether, 13 community partners were able to attend and make the event. The most popular partner that came was actually CrossFit 696. They brought a stationary bike and did a leaderboard challenge. I placed 3rd after 2 of the coaches, so I still got it apparently. A couple quotes that people said either to myself or my volunteers I wanted to share with you. One of the CrossFit members commented that all food is sustenance, good and bad don't really exist. This is something I personally believe in as well, being a nursing student with an interest in nutrition. One of my future nursing students who I was able to supply some medical equipment to was very nervous about starting this journey. But now that he's had some experience, he feels a lot better. And we just had some amazing quotes from everybody who's come and a bunch of thank yous for hosting the event. And it was really great to hear from people. So what are our next steps? Obviously, it's keeping the project alive after I graduate next year. So our main goal was continuing these partnerships. One of them would be the Student Nurses Association, and our clubs on campus must host 2 service events each year. It's a requirement for continuing to be a club. So I connected the current Student Nurses Association with my contact at Walgreens Pharmacy, and they are creating a game plan to host a flu clinic on our campus every start of fall semester for the nursing students who have to be vaccinated every year. And we also have the 2 offices within the campus that are rekindling a relationship that sort of dissipated over the COVID years and things haven't quite come back to normal yet. So our Brewer Center for Civic Learning and Community Engagement and our health and wellness offices are going to work together to recreate the health and wellness fair and continue this hopefully every year. A couple key takeaways that I learned personally was, managing a team. I had to create these roles and committees and make people in charge of different parts of this giant machine that I couldn't do on my own. Those positions included outreach team, volunteer leader, and marketing groups. We hosted regularly scheduled meetings to report on progress and keep in touch with each other. Then there was managing the budget. Now, I'm an adult with kids and bills, but that was all so wishy-washy in comparison to keeping track of the mini grant. I couldn't just crumple up my receipts and throw them across the room at the end of the day. I had to keep track of everything. And so I think this is a really good skill that I can use in all of my future endeavors, really. And then, of course, we had, as a nursing student, I was able to practice so many things that I'm going to need to be able to do in my career, such as working with people across different cultures and beliefs and different people in general. And I was able to practice communication and understanding, and working with the community partners allowed me to be in a sort of co-worker type role where we needed to work together to bring everything into one piece. So how this applies to my future. I plan to continue my education and working towards my doctorate to become a pediatric nurse practitioner. In the state of Massachusetts, that means I will be able to open my own practice, in which I wish to do, focusing on gender-affirming care for trans youth and their families. This mini grant gave me the chance to be the boss. I had to make all the big decisions. I had to find the right people I needed to contact. I had this opportunity to enter into this role that I hope to one day have. And I can't be more grateful for being able to have these practice times. So yeah, thanks to the fellowship, I was able to see what my strengths were and where I could improve on. I have a couple of main shout outs. I could not have done this without these 2 very specific, very amazing people. Both friends and coworkers. Justina was my volunteer leader, my outreach coordinator. She is an Excel spreadsheet genius, and she was able to keep track of over 100 community partners. And she just kept this up to date and made sure everybody was filling in what they needed to fill in at the time. And then we have Spencer, who is a new addition to our team. He was one of my outreach coordinators and a check-in volunteer. Spencer spent the entire day at the event and spent days leading up to the event, calling my community partners, making sure they knew where to go, how to get to where they were coming, and whatever their needs were when they arrived. Of course, I wouldn't have been able to do this without the support of my mentor, Fagan, and the Student Nurses Association as well. These groups and these individuals really made this such a smooth, wonderful experience, and I just couldn't be more appreciative of their help. And that brings me to the end of my presentation. My contact info is here if anybody would like it.
Oh, Ren, that was amazing to hear. You clearly have a lot of intentionality with your project, a lot of passion for it, and I love to hear about the longevity of y'all's projects as well, and that they'll be continuing on to do such great work. So thank you for sharing that with us. And we will move to our next presenter, Drubo, who is presenting and is our Newman Civic Fellow from the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. I'll pass it on to you.
Everyone, thank you so much for having me. First of all, it's such a great honor to be among one of the brightest minds in the country. So if I am, let me share. Just, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just okay. So the project that I was working on is like Food Unites Us. It's building community through culture, civic engagement, and services. Um, a little bit about me. My name is Trubo Ahmed, and I am an international student from Bangladesh who is studying in UWGB, and I got graduated this semester in May of 2026. Um, Also, as a Newman Civic Fellow, I believe that building strong community starts with bringing people together, celebrating diversity, and creating opportunities to serve others. And I think the best way of bringing people together is through food. Like one of the things that I've noticed, like the best way is bringing people. Like if we have any events in our school, there's a caption that says, "Food will be provided," and everyone goes there. So I think that the best way of having my main intention is actually just bringing people together and have conversation, having an open dialogue, creating a free space. That was my intention to do. And I thought the best way to do that is like bringing food. So I wanted to collaborate with different club members and encourage them to bring food, whatever they can from their specific country or from their specific groups, and just like have like a potluck type thing and having just come together and have a talk. As an international student, I have learned that food is often the fastest way to make friends, sometimes faster than group projects. That's one of my personal intake. A little bit about my university is Green Bay is a chill, scenic campus right by the water where naturals and studying actually coexist, nature and studying actually coexist, which is a rare combo. It's small enough, it's small enough that people don't feel lost in the crowd, but active enough with 130 clubs to stay busy. And our mascot, like, is Phoenix. So go Phoenix. So why this project mattered so much. So when I first came to the US, one of the things that I have noticed that like, the entire culture of their communion, like people coming together, um, friends, families, is through food. Like, and one of my biggest realization was during the Thanksgiving dinner. It was not a cultural, I won't say it's a cultural shock, but it was a very unique experience for me and I enjoyed it thoroughly. It's one of the pictures in one of my first Thanksgiving dinner with our host family. And I understand both the excitement and challenges of navigating new cultures and environments. I wanted to create opportunities where students could learn about one another in a welcoming and engaging way. Food became a perfect medium because it allows people to experience culture in a way that is accessible, enjoyable, and memorable. Okay. People may speak different languages, but everyone understands food. That's also, I wrote that. So the inspiration of Foods Unites Us, this project was inspired by my previous work focused on diversity, belonging, and cultural understanding. Research and community conversations highlighted the need for stronger social connection and greater appreciation of cultural differences. I believe that food could serve as a bridge between people and help create those connections. One of so an opportunity so one of the things that I did first, I collaborated with the civic scholars, the civic engagement in our campus, and they helped me a lot throughout like the whole ever since I got my Newman Fellowship and with the mini grant and also my Up to Us leadership. The civic scholar in our campus helped me a lot, and collaboration was essential to the success of this project. I worked alongside community organization, campus partners, and student leaders who shared a commitment to promoting inclusion and civic engagement. the first phrase what I did was I had an event. It was during the Civics Week. It was around March. So I wanted, first thing that I wanted is like, to bring food and to bring mainly to bring people together and have conversation, educate them about the Green Bay and Wisconsin in general. So I had a Kahoot. I made a Kahoot about the history and facts about Green Bay and Wisconsin, which surprisingly a lot of people, even though they have been living in Wisconsin for a really long time, they did not know a lot of facts about Wisconsin and Green Bay, where we're from. And I think, and when I was doing that Kahoot, a lot of people did not do well. And honestly, I know it sounds really bad, but honestly, I'm really happy. But because in this way, after the Kahoot was over, and I made using a little bit of mini grant fund that I had, I did some shopping and I made some food from my cultural. I made some food from my country, and I presented to them, and they loved it. They had a wonderful time. It's something they all admitted that it was a very unique experience for them. I had like around like 30 to 35 people who showed up. So I wasn't expecting a lot of people to show up, but a lot of people did show up. And here are some of the pictures of my Newman Fellowship as well. So I'm just having a lot of pictures together. So what I did was in that event, I invited my mentor. At that time, I was doing an internship in Achieve Brown County, and I invited my mentor. She talked about the community involvement and how it's important for youths to be involved in community. And then we played the Kahoot where I tried to educate people about the facts and histories of Wisconsin and how immigrants and people from different countries who came to settle down in Wisconsin contributed to what we know as Wisconsin or the US in general today, and how important it is for people from different backgrounds to come together and create a rich culture like United States. When people share food, stories, and experience, strangers become neighbors and communities grow stronger. Another event, what I did was in the festival. We in our school we host festival culture every year. It's a event where different communities from local communities comes and they sell they if local businesses who have food trucks, the club members who wants to sell food, who wants to sell accessories and products like being creative. It's a great place to festival of culture is like a big fair in the school. So I took this opportunity. I worked with the campus student engagement center in our campus where so whatever money I had left, I worked with them, and what I did was I ordered snacks using their account. Of course, the money went to their account directly. I bought snacks from all around the world actually from app through Amazon, and like we have this Korean snack box, we have Japanese snacks box, we have Polish, German, like we have all different snacks box from all over the world. And then I booked a booth in the Festival of Culture and I sold it very cheap. Um, in this way, I wanted people to not think about money when they're buying it. So I sold it very cheap so that everyone can afford it. And whatever money that was raised through that event, it was it was giving back. We supported the House of the Hopes, and House of the Hopes is a place where young people, homeless people, are sheltered. Like they shelter the homeless people, especially the youths. And as we know that the U.S. is suffering from homeless crisis. I thought it was imperative for like we had so many organizations, but I really think that homelessness is a very it's a challenge for a lot of Americans right now. So I thought it's the best way to whatever money we raised, it goes to the House of the Hopes. And whatever snacks that were left over, I donated that snack to the food pantry in our school, so that made it so that students can have access to free food, and it's like from all over the world, so they have access to worldwide snacks in their food pantry, and it's all for free. The impact of this project extended beyond cultural learning and student engagement. The cultural food booth also served as a fundraiser with proceeds donated to the House of Hopes. House of Hope provides housing assistance, transitional living program, and support services and essential resources for youth and families experiencing housing instability. In addition, after the event concluded, the remaining snacks were donated to UW Green Bay Food Pantry so that students could continue to benefit from them. This ensured that nothing went to waste while also supporting students who may be experiencing food insecurities. Okay, so challenges and lessons. One of the challenges that I do want to mention, I think the only challenge that I did face was the money matters because our school wanted to make sure that the money that we got, we wanted to give it to the civic scholars, but they were not sure if they have the right to cash it out. So I had to like reach out to different clubs, and at the end of the day, I reached out to the student engagement center. They agreed to like take the check, and all the expenses went through their account, and they just cashed the check later. The project came with several real world challenges that required planning, patience, and adaptability. Like there are so many things that bureaucracy that I did not know. And when I was going through this project, I went through a lot of like challenges like this. On the logistics side, budgeting, estimating attendance, coordinating purchases, and managing event details all required constant adjustments as things evolved. So there were like a lot of underlying situations and things that I wasn't aware of. I thought it would be a smooth sail, but it wasn't. Despite those challenges, the experiences offered important lessons. Flexibility was essential when plans shifted. Strong partnerships significantly increased the impact of the work. Even small ideas had the potential to grow into meaningful opportunities when supported by the community. And also, this was one of the event I went to up to us leadership forum. It was one of the greatest experience I ever had. So I think Will knows that. This the outcomes and impact. This project created both measurable and meaningful impact across campus and wider community. It engaged approximately 200 students and community members through cultural events, raised funds for House of Hope, and ensured leftover food was donated to the UW Green Bay Food Pantry, so nothing went to waste. Beyond numbers, it strengthened cultural awareness, sparked new conversation, built stronger partnership, and increased student engagement. Overall, it showed how cultural exchange and services can work together to support both community connection and basic needs. Future opportunities. Okay, so while I was working through it this morning, I just got an email for my master's program in Ireland that I got accepted and I got a scholarship. So I'm very much excited about that. I did not include this one here because I just received the email this morning. So it's not included, but I'm very excited about this opportunity. So I'll probably be doing my master's in Ireland, so to which I'm very excited about. Um, but if I am to talk about this, if additional resources were available, this project could grow into something even more impactful. I was actually talking about this with my school, and they all agreed after the festival of culture event. A lot of my peers and a lot of my instructors and staff members, they all really enjoyed this plan where, you know, you bring snacks from the international, like you bring snacks from all the different parts of the world. And the students really thoroughly enjoyed it, and they were all talking about it. And they were asking me if you could do this every year. And I was like, I don't think that's possible, but who knows if the Newman Fellow in the coming so we nominated a new Neiman fellow. So like if she gets a mini grant, she could do something even better than what I did. So like it's all up to speculations. It's all up to like keeping an open mindset. Final reflection of food unites us. This project showed that culture is a powerful starting point for connection. When people come together through shared experience, even something as simple as food, it opens door to conversation, understanding, and stronger relationship. Like we can all see in the current scenario, polarization increased a lot, and I think when having a open dialogue, open conversation, and having a free space, it will minimize. I won't say it will just demolish all the polarization, but it will definitely minimize it, and we can have a safe space for people to express their opinions. Those connections help build a more engaged and supportive community, which naturally leads to a desire to serve and give back. In the end, even a small moment like sharing a snack can spark a conversation, and that conversation can grow into understanding and unity and lasting impact. One of the quote that I came up with, every dish carries a story and every shared meal builds a bridge. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing, Dhruva. I really appreciated hearing it, and especially around how we can all understand, like, the concept of food and community that can build and bridge within us. And what you said about how, your strangers can easily become your neighbors. That was just gold for me. And congratulations. Let me be one of the first people to congratulate you on your graduate school opportunity. That sounds amazing. And there's, always the opportunity that maybe something like this will continue on with the next Newman Civic Fellow. That's always a great thing to witness. Um, I'd love to hear, like, even from the Newman Civic Fellows, I can kind of jump us off in those questions. What would you say the biggest highlight or best memory is from your experience so far?
I guess I can go first. I think the biggest highlight was really getting to see some of my students open their eyes to new opportunities. I think that a lot of them don't understand exactly everything that's available to them because their situations are so different. And like, I have kids now that want to go and work in local government and be city managers, and I have students that want to do various other things. And so I think that getting to see them like open themselves up to that and really have those experiences, they were so excited. I think that was honestly probably my favorite part because this whole project really was about them and giving them that opportunity. So that was my favorite.
Thank you. Anyone else want to share what their biggest memory or, favorite moment was?
I can go next. Well, it's a memory. I mean, it won't sound nice, but it's still a very memorable part of me when, when every time when I was facing obstacles after obstacles, I took it as a challenge. It wasn't like when I was going through it, it wasn't one of the most it one of well, it wasn't the best experience, but when I finally had the outcome of it, it feels like a sense of achievement when like I was having some problems with submitting the check. Like Morgan, you were also like involved in it. Like it would, like, there was a lot of like rules and regulations that was like clashing, and it was a little bit like overwhelming for me, but the outcome of that it all felt worth it. So I would say all the challenges that I faced while doing these was actually now where I'm sitting from is very memorable.
Lovely. And yes, I think that sense of accomplishment is kind of like a big thing to walk away from and something you should all be proud of.
I think for me, my like most memorable moment was actually watching my coworker Spencer come into a leadership role. A little bit about Spencer is he's actually one of our dual enrollment students, so he's actually only 17 and has never had a job before or really done anything like this before. So watching him kind of just take over the roles and tasks that I gave him and do them so thoroughly and so wonderfully, I think was really just an empowering moment for me, knowing that I was able to give him an opportunity to kind of come into his own.
Mm, yes, for sure. And I also want to open the floor up, for other folks who may have questions for our Newman Civic Fellows.
It looks like Bella's got a question in the chat. Morgan, if you'd read that.
Oh, thanks, Will. Yes, Bella has a question. She heard a couple of folks mentioning participants or community partners enjoyed the project so much that they hoped it would continue in the coming years. How have you all thought about passing the baton or sustaining this work? So we'd love to hear from you all. If there is, any interest there in continuing the work in future years.
Yeah, so for us, we work with the Resettlement Center as well as the Foreign Service Society. The Foreign Service Society has two ex like kind of chair exec positions that are exclusively focused on that program. And so I've served on that before. We have two amazing young women that are going into it for the next year that are going to continue to coordinate this program. And so they're hoping to do some new stuff with them. I know the students were really excited about everything they got to do this year, and they were already talking about everything they want to do next year. And so we're working with the Foreign Service Society as well as the Resettlement Center to try to figure out what exactly they want to program and where the funding's coming from. Hopefully, they get a little bit more federal funding in the next upcoming year, but we really just don't know right now. So they're definitely making plans and they have partnerships with the university that are continuing to sustain the program. So they're really excited.
Oh, that's very exciting to hear. Anyone else want to share maybe potential plans or what has tentatively been discussed around future plans?
For me, the Student Nurses Association is going to work with the Walgreens pharmacy to host a vaccination clinic every fall semester. They've already started that contact and started that process, so that's going to be great coming up in September. And two of our offices on campus want to start working together again and providing these kinds of services and just getting information out there about what is available to our students and our community members.
Lovely. Thank you for sharing. And I've been able to witness some, projects here in my time at Campus Compact to like develop with longevity and get better and better every year. So I hope that you all also get that opportunity as well. And I think we're going to try to start the presentation up again.
Yes, let's give it a try.
All right, so we'll pass things off to Angela.
Great, and we can see it, Angela, so you just have to unmute yourself, and then we're good.
Angela,
Can you hear me now?
we can hear you.
Yep,
I think
we can hear you.
you might have navigated away from the presentation. There we go.
And here it is. Perfect.
Can you still hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Angela, and I am from Kingsborough Community College. I'll be graduating next year, class of 2026. I am currently a transfer to Brooklyn College, and this is my mini grant fellowship project. It's called Farm to Bold, and I'm very excited to show you what we did. So on the left side, you can see an image. We had the privilege to work with the farm at Kingsborough, and on the right side is a short video that I took. It's like our setup and how we went with the event. So yeah, as you can see, we had, as I mentioned, we had the privilege of working with the farm, and the really provided some of the produce that we used in the making of this event. So why does this project matter? This project matters to me because it's about food insecurity, and we know that many students in our campus don't know really about the resources that we give in the campus. So this was a really event to show them and educate them based on what resources are giving in our college. So this event really helped them out, and also personally, my family and we had really struggled with food insecurity back in 2020. And then when I heard that I will be participating in this fellowship, the SNAP and the government had cut down some wages. So I wanted to give back to my community the way they gave me back when I was struggling in 2020. So the goals of this project is to increase awareness in the campus food program, educate students about food insecurity, and create a hands-on experience to connect students with community resources. On the right side, you can see some of the images that we took while being in the event. The planning and partnering of this project was very complex. It was very difficult because we had a lot of people that we were seeking advice from, and my advisor Joanna Mulbeck really helped me a lot because we were brainstorming like from time to time of how we wanted the event to look like, what we might wanted it to have, and then we partnered with other campus partners like the site, the farm, the ARC, the Accessibility Resource Center, and the Civic Engagement Center as well. We actually also plan different activities within the event, and we asked for professors to speak about their experience in food insecurity, and also the promoting of the event was a very complex thing to do because we had to do everything from scratch, and then organizing materials and food preparations for different stations was also something that came within the planning. The partnership is the site. We asked a professor because she had an idea of something called data portraits that I will mention furthermore. And then the urban farm lended the space on us to make the event, which I showed at the beginning. And then the ARC provided us with the food insecurity research that a professor had done. So we really needed that information. And we also did a research outside of what they had given us. And the civic engagement really helped us in the farm hands-on activity. So some of the activities that we made within the event itself, the one that I said was data portraits, was led by Professor Denise and Gabriela. She really came up with this idea on how we could help the students make it better, make the event more centered to the food insecurity. So a data portrait is a visual and personal way of presenting a survey data. So basically, we came up with 3 questions, and every answer had a different pattern, had a different color. And as you can see on the left side, every answer had a different pattern. So on the top left, you can see a design of the button that we were making with the name of the student. So it was a very personal thing for them to have, but also the questions were related to food insecurity, and nothing was like outside of what we were planning to do. Additionally to that, 12 students signed up to have a button made for them. And we concluded with this data portrait that many students know the context of what food insecurity is, and many students know that it's sometimes unseen. So they're basically aware that food insecurity happens within their campus. And some of them usually have homemade cooked meals. So on the right side, you can see the little statistics of the survey that we did. Another thing that we did was from the this was from the ARC, from the Accessibility Center at Kingsborough. So they gave us the research, and we did like a little how you can help, how why awareness matters, what is food insecurity, and where you can find the resources in case you need them at Kingsborough. So this was all made from scratch. So it was very helpful for them to have it like on hand because it was easier for them to like read it off. Another thing with the budget that we got, we also wanted to give students a book for them to learn more about food insecurity and how it's actually affecting many families in New York and United States. And this book is called $2 a Day Living on Almost Nothing in America. It's about real stories and researches, and it highlights issues such as food insecurity, homelessness, and economic inequality. And this matters because it helps students better understand poverty, social justice, and challenge many students to face and challenges that many people face in the community. So it basically makes them more aware of their surroundings. Another thing that we did is a little cookbook because within the event, we had different stations, 4 stations. One was to check in and just grab a drink, which was nutritious, grab a drink and signed up for the button. Another station, it was us showing them some recipes that are nutritious, that are healthy, and they're easy to make because knowing that food insecurity, many people don't have that much of abundance in items. So we decided to keep it with low minimum items that you can use in the recipe. So that was the cookbook, and it was 3 recipes, and at the end you can make your own recipe. For featured speaker, we had Shannon. She shared her actual personal story about food insecurity and how she was involved in the urban space for the farm, allow us to use the farm for the event. And her experience in balancing motherhood and social and food access challenges with her kids was very touching and very emotional for the students to know because that's how they connected with the event with the speaker. And these are some of the images that we took. And I'll also like to mention that within the event, we had the attendance of 30 students, 23 from a nursing professor, as you can see right here. Everyone wearing the white coat was from the nursing course, and everyone who wasn't was, they just signed up from seeing the event on social media, on the hallways. So we had 30 students, 23 from a nursing course, and 7 students that registered. And overall, they learned that about the food insecurity happening within our campus, where our resources are. They participated in the hands-on activity and connected with community members and campus programs. As you can see, they all really enjoyed it. They all wished it was like an annual thing. So we're really proud that they really liked it. And the food actually was, I could say, exact amount for the exact amount of people that we expected. My biggest takeaway in my challenge was the coordination of many people, like many partners. It was really, I want to say difficult because I don't have a lot of free time because of work, because of school. So it was a lot of like dedication to actually what I was making. So a lot of time went into it, a lot of preparation, a lot of ideas that just pop into your head and just want to do it. So, and also a lesson that I learned was collaboration increases impact, which means that it doesn't matter. It matters, actually. It matters how many people you have as long as it helps the event. Because we had a lot of ideas, but also we didn't have collaborations. And when we had collaborations, it didn't involve the event. So the balance between those two was very important to us. And that's it. I want to thank everyone who really helped me. And furthermore, I would like to in Brooklyn College that I am currently now, I would like to express what I've done with this event and also volunteer in the farm that we also have in Brooklyn College. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing, Angela. I think this was an amazing project, and you all clearly had a lot of intention and built and developed a lot of community here as well. Would you mind sharing, like what your favorite moment was or your most memorable, impactful moment was for you?
The day before the event. The day before the event, I was very anxious, very nervous on how everything was gonna go. If we were gonna have enough food, if we are gonna have enough drinks. It was like very anxious. So that was like my favorite moment because I'm like, it's finally coming along. It's finally everything coming together. So it was very biggest highlight.
Lovely. And I definitely understand those kind of jitters that you get right before something's really going to come together and work. So thank you again so much for sharing that. As we wrap up here, I just want to extend my thanks to everyone who was able to join us, and most importantly, extend a thanks to the presenters, our fellows, for sharing their experiences, their insights, accomplishments, and things like that. You put a lot of energy and effort into like investing into these projects, into the communities that you care about, and I hope everyone is walking away from here feeling inspired. I know I've been inspired by watching your ideas come to life and seeing the impacts you've made when it comes to leadership and service. I want to thank everyone who supported the fellows in these projects, mentors, campus leaders, family, community partners, friends, volunteers. All of the support goes a long way to making it happen. And it's that collective effort that allows people to come together and have commitment to create community and like see things thrive. And we're just incredibly proud of the fellows, grateful to have an opportunity to learn from them today. And thank you for spending some time with us this afternoon. I hope that you'll join us again for future Student Summer Impact Series. Y'all have a good one.